All right, guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the recent announcement from Dana White that UFC Riyadh, the main event is going to be Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov, 5 rounds, and it's a pretty good matchup. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be obviously a striking affair. I'm going to take a wild guess, and I think that Imavov's actually going to grapple. I think he's going to mix that in. We've seen him do it a few times. I believe he did it against, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I believe we've seen him shoot a few takedowns. Oh, Chris Curtis. I know he was shooting on Chris Curtis. I believe he was actually the first one to take down Chris Curtis in the UFC, or one of the first to take him down. And I think he took him down a few times. So I do think he has that wrinkle in his game. And I think that could make things really interesting because on the feet, Imavov is a great striker and he does have great movement. But even in the DDP fight that Izzy lost, I thought he looked fantastic on the feet. DDP is just incredibly difficult to understand, incredibly difficult to deal with. The dude is an athletic freak. He looks like he's terrible, but really he's phenomenal. He just makes his style work for him. I don't know what he does. I don't know what kind of supplements he's on, but he's extremely physical. He's got amazing cardio, and he just always pulls through. He finds a way to win, and he's just a tough guy to deal with. And he got Izzy that day. He caught him. But Izzy, in my opinion, looked great on the feet. His striking looked really good as usual. He's an elite striker. He's an elite counter striker. That's really where he's like really, really good. And I just think that even though Imavov is good, I don't think he's of the caliber of Izzy. I think that it will probably play out relatively close on the feet, but I think that Izzy will be landing cleaner, more effectively, probably landing a bit more than Imavov. Izzy can slack sometimes on the output because sometimes he will wait and counter strike, and sometimes he'll allow himself to be put on the back foot. But that's where he's strongest. That's what he's really good at. And it's not like Imavov is a guy who's always pushing forward, pushing forward. He's also a guy who likes to move a lot. Also a guy who's often put on his back foot and uses a lot of lateral movement. So it's going to be a striking affair where I favor Izzy. I think Izzy's just cleaner, more technical, and he's just going to land more effectively. Nice, clean, straight down the pipe strikes. So on the feet, favor Izzy. But like I mentioned earlier, I have a gut feeling that Imavov is going to mix in some grappling. And I think that's where this could get really interesting. And that's where maybe there's some value on Imavov. I don't remember the line off of the top of my head. I think Izzy's around like the minus 180 mark last time I checked. That feels about right to me. I'm not really dying to go play Izzy at that price just because he has taken a few L's now. And that kind of thing will get to you. So I'm a little nervous about that. And I am a little bit nervous about the fact that on the feet, it'll be close, but on the ground, Izzy has never been good on the ground. Izzy can struggle. Izzy can get stuck on his back. Izzy's takedown defense obviously has improved a lot because he's throughout his career, he's known most guys are going to try to grapple him because they don't stand a chance against him on the feet. So his takedown defense has improved, but Imavov can low key wrestle. And he's not a guy who's wrestling only. When you're fighting somebody who only wrestles, you know that they're going to shoot takedowns and they're going to be uncomfortable on the feet. So you know what to do. You know to be ready for those takedowns. But when you have a guy who can do both, can set up the takedowns with the hands, doesn't need to panic shoot, is comfortable to strike, but then can also mix in those takedowns, then it's a whole different story. And those takedowns will come easier. So overall, I like Izzy to win. I think that at the end of the day, he's going to show everybody who he is, that he is still one of the best in the world. He is getting a little bit older, Imavov on the younger side of the two, but I do think he's going to remind everybody who he is. And I think Izzy probably wins that fight. But at the same time, I think there's probably value on Imavov. And if the line really blows out, I might end up taking a shot there because Imavov does have good cardio. I know he can do 5 rounds. He's done it before. And like I said, I just think that wrestling wrinkle might be something. And most people are probably not even going to think about it because Imavov primarily does not wrestle. He's a kickboxer. No one really thinks about it. But nobody was able to take down Chris Curtis until he did it. So I have a feeling that he's going to be drilling it. I have a feeling he's going to be training the wrestling. And I have a feeling that it's going to be more of a factor in this fight than some people might expect. So, yeah, give me Izzy as the winner. But I think Imavov is going to be a very live underdog. And I'm really excited for that fight. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be an exciting striking match. I don't think it's going to be boring. Maybe if Imavov's taking him down at will and just laying on him, but I don't really think that's going to happen either. I think for the most part, Imavov will try to strike, and then he'll grapple if he feels like he needs to. So we'll see what happens, but I'm really looking forward to it. A really great card. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.